Let me begin by thanking not only the Institute and the team here, but thanking the people and government of Hungary for being such a strong and committed NATO ally. Your nation has made significant contributions to our collective defense, to the fight against terrorism, and to reducing instability beyond our borders. I wanted to share a few specifics. Last November, we established a small but important headquarters here in Hungary, one of our new NATO force integration units, and the director already mentioned that. We now have 8 of these small headquarters in the eastern part of the alliance. The others are in Bulgaria, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, and Slovakia. This network in Central and Eastern Europe performs several critically important functions for NATO and our collective security, military planning, exercises, and facilitating reinforcements if they are needed. More broadly, they symbolize NATO's solidarity and the commitment to collective defense, to the idea that we are united and will defend one another. Hungary is also one of the largest contributors of forces to our KFOR mission in Kosovo. That ensures a safe and secure environment for all the people of Kosovo in a region which is central to Europe's security. In Afghanistan, Hungarian forces serve with bravery and professionalism as part of NATO's mission to train, advise, and assist Afghan forces. They, in this way, can secure their country and deny safe haven to international terrorists. Later this year, Hungarian troops will deploy to the Baltics as part of our ongoing assurance measures. Hungary will also support our multinational framework brigade in Romania as part of our tailored forward presence in the Black Sea region. Your country has contributed to NATO trust funds for cyber defense, for medical rehabilitation, and this as part of our support for Ukraine. So, now comes the big question of the day, defense burden sharing, and I wanted to also say a word of thanks to Hungary for increasing defense spending. At our Wales summit in 2014, Hungary and all NATO allies agreed to the defense spending pledge, committing allies to increase defense spending to 2% of GDP within a decade. Since then, Hungary has stopped the cuts in the defense budget and has increased defense spending in real terms. We welcome this very much. We are also encouraging Hungary to maintain the momentum going forward, because in a more dangerous world, we need to invest in our security and keep our nations safe. I wanted to underscore, as I touch on this topic, that, of course, President Trump, coming into the White House throughout his campaign and in recent months, has made defense burden sharing an important priority and talked about it rather in strong terms. But it's really important to recollect that the decisions in this regard were reached at the Wales Summit in 2014, and since that time, the cuts have stopped across the NATO alliance, and the numbers are starting to come up. We can return to this in our discussion period if you wish. Now, let's say a few words about NATO's adaptability. That's the very purpose of my visit to Budapest today and the NATO Transformation Seminar. For almost 70 years, NATO has kept the peace in Europe. We have been successful because we have been able to change as the world has changed. During the Cold War, our focus was collective defense and deterrence. But after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the dissolution of the Soviet Union, we adapted to the changed circumstances. Our focus broadened to include crisis management beyond our borders. Going out of area was a paradigm shift for the alliance. In the 1990s, we embraced change and helped to stop large-scale bloodshed in the Western Balkans. Before the 1990s, NATO did not work with any partner countries. Now we work with a network of 41 partners in Central Europe, Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and beyond. Thank you. I wanted to take note that we have a new partner now. Colombia is our most recent partner and our first in Latin America. So we are truly looking for ways to provide wide-ranging partnership opportunities to countries that can help to increase net security in their regions and across the world as a whole. So we welcome this very, very much. As a result of working effectively with our partners, today NATO is smarter and a more agile alliance. Oh, by the way, we also have international partnerships with international organizations as diverse as the UN and the EU on one side and the International Red Cross on the other. So it's not only country partnerships, but also with some international organizations. Our evolution also obviously included the addition of 12 new NATO members between 1999 and 2009, beginning with Hungary, the Czech Republic, and Poland. This infusion of new members and new perspectives has spurred organizational change and new thinking. After the terrorist attacks in the United States on September 11, 2001, we invoked Article 5 for the first time. That is our collective defense clause. We deployed AWACS to patrol American skies. And we deployed our largest combat mission in Afghanistan to ensure that it would never again become a safe haven for international terrorists planning to attack our countries. The pace of NATO's transformation has increased over the past few years. 2014 was indeed a major watershed in NATO's recent evolution. In response to Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea and the rise of ISIL, it became clear that NATO must engage in both the enhancement of collective security and also projecting greater stability beyond our borders. We must do both at the same time, and indeed those were the core objectives that emerged from the Warsaw Summit in July of 2016. So we are pursuing a two-track approach to Russia, combining strong defense and deterrence with an openness for dialogue. Indeed, when tensions are high, we need dialogue more than ever to reduce risks and increase mutual predictability and confidence. NATO is a defensive alliance. Everything that we do is defensive, proportionate, and fully in line with our international commitments. Our forces do not pose a threat to any country. Our goal is to prevent conflict, not to provoke conflict. All of NATO's defensive actions are designed to ensure that the safety and security of our member countries is upheld and that the shared values on which NATO was founded are upheld. Every ally needs to respect and promote these principles: democracy, individual liberty, and the rule of law. We are working closely with our network of partners to increase stability to the south and east, because if our neighbors are more stable, we are more secure. We are working closely with partners to the east, such as Georgia, Moldova, and Ukraine. Our training and defense capacity building efforts in these countries have made a difference, helping them defend their independence and better face external threats while strengthening their own institutions and fighting corruption, which is an endemic problem in many places. NATO and the EU are now taking our level of cooperation to a new level. We recently agreed on more than 40 proposals in several key areas, including dealing with hybrid and cyber threats and building the capacity of our partners. We recognize that each organization, working alone, does not have all the tools and resources needed to effectively address all of the challenges that we face, both military and non-military. By working together, we can build and leverage our capabilities. We like to say that neither the EU nor NATO has all the tools in the toolbox, but when we put them together, we form a coherent whole. We do have to avoid duplication, however. We must complement each other and not compete with each other, and that's exactly what we are doing. So NATO, supported by our network of partners, has been involved in a great deal to enhance our collective defense and also to project greater stability to the south and east. So, concluding thoughts. For almost 70 years, NATO's unique bond between Europe and North America has helped to ensure peace and prosperity on both sides of the Atlantic. Today, NATO is as vital as ever. Our alliance is strong and continues to adapt. That has been a major theme at our seminar here in Budapest and will remain a major theme when NATO leaders meet in Brussels at the end of May. And you may have seen that it's been announced by not only Secretary Stoltenberg, who's in Washington, but also by the Trump White House, that there will be a leaders meeting on May 25th in Brussels. So we will continue very much to rely on Hungary's contribution to our mutual efforts and truly look forward to working with you going forward. I think there is so much that we can do together, and we have to be constantly mindful of the better ways that we can work together. So thank you very much for your attention. Again, it's good to see so many old friends and colleagues in the audience, as well as so many new faces and young faces. So I look forward to our discussion very, very much. Thank you.